Welcome to the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas, with Gary Danielson and Jack Arute. I'm Brett Musburger. It is the top-ranked team, the unbeaten Oklahoma Sooners, against their arch rival, the Texas Longhorns. Earlier, we had a confrontation at the middle of the field. No punches thrown. There's a lot of woofing and barking. So Trey DiCarlo with the ball on the tee for the Sooners, and the Red River Shootout is about to begin. Here he comes. Selvin from the 3 to the 23. All out there for a first down. Play fake. Mock rolls left. Looks Johnson underneath. Got him for a first down.
14. No, holding it. He was out of bounds.
Chance Mock out of the pocket, throws it. Ball is caught. Does his left foot come down? I thought it did. Clearly did.
That's
left foot's
catch.
down.
Up here, and indeed it was. And now the very vocal defensive coaches for Oklahoma spotting something, and they throw underneath to Williams. And so right away the strategy for Sloan Thomas is over there, and it's Johnson to the right side of the formation. Bo Scaife is the tight end. They show blitz. Picked up, there's a penalty flag. Chance Mock, the starter. Vince Young, the phenom, the freshman out of the Houston area. He'll be in the third series. The ankle seems fine. We have had a confrontation, but it was all woofing and no punching. Under fire, Mock throws, intercepted by Strait. Got it at the 35-yard line. Here comes Derek Strait, looking for a blocker, and Strait has given Oklahoma a first and goal inside the 10-yard line. Ronaldo works, is the tailback. He gets the first carry. Ronaldo for the end zone, and Oklahoma scores just like that. The favored Sooners strike right after the turnover on the Ronaldo works touchdown run around the right side of the 10. Good, and it's 7-0. You take a look at the ease with which Works scored. That offensive line, which has done such a fabulous job, keeps it clean, and Works walks in. 7-0 timeout. Into the end zone. Young is coming from 3 yards in. 15 looks for a corner. 20 to the 25-yard line.
Hello, my name is Chance Mock, and being from the state of Texas, the Red River Shootout is the greatest rivalry in sports.
A bad call went against them, and then the interception. The familiar 3 wideouts for the Horns. Motion, Benson into the middle of that stout OU defense. Principal, Financial Group starting lineup. This is the offensive line, and no question, this is the toughest challenge that they have faced against this Oklahoma defense. Now, last year, Benson, 22, 54 yards, had no touchdowns. They need to pick it up. That's the running game. The passing game. A year ago, 7 catches for 126 yards for the 3 Musketeers. Second down and 9. He's on the short side of the field, off to the right. Matched against Strait again. They're flopping Strait. Throw Williams, deflected, incomplete, and Strait is all over Roy Williams. So Oklahoma defense featuring one All-American after another. Are they the nation's best? Miami's defensive front looked awfully good today. Back at that linebacking spot, the Texas nemesis, Teddy Lehman, who has intercepted a pass in each of the last 2 years. Now, they have been operating out of the nickel D by sliding Dante Nicholson up to that will linebacker spot, and Brodney Poole, who had 2 interceptions, has been playing in the backfield. The big hitter is number 7, Everett. Nicholson now steps out to the slot man. They throw to Thomas. Thomas is trapped, nothing doing, and the Oklahoma defense. McGee back to punt. Hangs it up high, and Perkins, the return whiz, feels it at the 26-yard line, forced back to the middle. He'll try to stretch, and he does. Now he's got a seam in the middle. Fumble. Diving for the ball, the burnt orange jerseys of Texas. Texas celebrating, and they've got it. Quarterback, he'll operate with Cedric Benson. Jason Glenn, there's the pitch on the option look, and Benson is cut off and is thrown for a loss. Vince Young, the numbers out of high school are mind-boggling. freshman. On second down and long, they go to 4 wide receivers and hand it off on the inside handoff to Benson, and he could not even get back to the original line of scrimmage. Third down, there was movement, and the tackle,
including double teaming Roy Williams.
Third down and 7 from the pocket. Young's got the middle, got it, first down, hit the big fella, turns the corner, and Williams, still battling, is stopped at the 12-yard line. So Roy Williams, both behind Young. And again, Young pulling back out, throws to the fullback, and Matthews could not get his shoulders turned. Second down. Benson, the running back. Young stands, pump fakes, waits now, takes off. Looking for a block, ran into his own man, dives for the end zone, reaches, but he is down. Mac Brown wants power football. Edwards and Tweedy are in as additional tight ends, blocking. They go in motion. It's third down and short. Benson, end zone, touchdown, Texas. Both teams convert turnovers early for touchdowns. An interception by Chance Mock leads to the Oklahoma score. Now for the tie. Got it. So one more look at this power running. Does this team look soft to you today? Here they are. Double tight end. Lead blocked by the H-back. We're deadlocked at 7. With the ball on the D is Richmond McGee. This would be Bradley from the 4. Bradley stood up right about the 20-yard line.
Hi, I'm Jason White. This is my first career start in the OU Texas game.
He is now being mentioned prominently in all of those Heisman Trophy candidate lists that spring up around the country and on the internet sites. The shotgun allows him to drop back. He's not as mobile as he used to be. That inside handoff, it's Wilkes who scored the touchdown. Let's check in now on the principal financial group lineup. Only 4 sacks allowed by this offensive line. The unsung heroes up Norman Way. And as far as the running backs are concerned, they are indeed chasing that ghost of Quentin Griffin, who ran for 248 yards in a Red River shootout a year ago.
And they'll see defensive backs in their face all day. A lot of man-to-man coverage from this Texas defense.
Second down and 8. Play fake. Jason fires to a wide open receiver as this Texas defensive lineup, and they are on a mission. I know Oklahoma gets all the ink and pub. Freshman Tim Crowder over there along with Kalen Thornton hope to put on a lot of heat. And who's the best number 11? We rave about Teddy Lehman, but let us not forget DJ Johnson, also number 11. And Dakari Pearson, he got into it with Brandon Everidge.
Must collapse the pocket. Those 2 guys are huge.
Need to reach the 31-yard line for the first down. Fires for it. Got it on the completion. Clayton at the 40. And folks, that was a hard-nosed 13 yards for White to Clayton. First down, coming back with the inside handoff to Works. He has 4 receivers spread out. Brings one of them in motion. And the offensive line, there's a twist. They're coming in on Jason, setting the screen. A beautiful call to Works. But Texas was ready. They jumped the play, and Basher. Third and 11. Rankins off to the right side. White looks middle, comes back off of it, and in trouble. Sacked at the 27-yard line by Philip Eager. Gets it off now to Basher. Basher fields it at the 29. Looks outside in there.
I still like the idea of starting Chance Mock, but he made a huge mistake early. Cost his team.
Brett Robin is the back. Young rolling away from trouble. Great speed. Picked off. Intercepted by number 23, Brodney Poole. 3 interceptions in 2 weeks for the Houston sophomore. They've got a timeout. There's not in time. I see the penalty flag. I see the penalty flag. They did not get it called in time. Now,
lack of communication cost them 5 yards.
3 wide receivers, 2 backs alongside White, who was savage the last time he tried to throw. Got one-on-one, goes deep. Interference is called.
don't you in college football have to throw the ball deep? He said, yes,
offensive
this time
interference,
it
folks.
goes. You can see the push by Travis Wilson on the play.
Now, we haven't heard from Brandon Jones. He's the wide out, far out to the right on this formation. They'll come back with a conservative call with Works. And no more than a couple of yards, and used to hold forth here. And of course, then that long-time tradition on New Year's Day, the Cotton Bowl itself. Second down now, and White steps away, fires complete to the 35-yard line. That is back, folks, to Carl Reese continues to substitute rush linemen, trying to get fresh rushers. Williams in the game, but White gets it off anyway. Got the first down. There's Jones inside the 20-yard line on this first down. Jason White, the inside handoff to Works, picks his way, cuts back, smashes, first down, first and goal inside the 5-yard line. The senior running back from Tulsa continues to be the workhorse. Here he comes again. Ronaldo Works, hurdles down to the 5-yard line. Second down and goal now, and here comes White. Play fake, got a man wide open. Here comes a touchdown. They walk in. J.D. Runnels, the sophomore fullback.
Jason White has his pick on that one.
So Oklahoma takes advantage of 2 Texas turnovers. One, an interception by Mock, the second by Young, and it's 14-7 timeout. The defensive strategy on the Texas side has used a lot of bodies here so far. So with the Sooners up 7, kicking off again, Eager. Yard deep and appeared to step on the goal line. It was on that goal line, and then he's down. So I guess he ruled that he was still in there when he took the knee, and Young keeps it. A beautiful play fake, and Vince Young breaks free, still going. Midfield, still on his feet. They can't stop him. He's at the 40. Amazing. Down the sideline. Hurdles and down to the 19-yard line. Let's hear it for the freshman from Houston, folks. Amazing. Number 11, Teddy Lehman, could not gain ground on him. The cutback by Benson. And he's to the 15 and will be a freshman at Norman, Oklahoma next year. Second down, the hand now to Benson. Slashes. Daylight needs one more block, and he's down at the 7-yard line, handling them without the injured Frank Gore. First down and goal. And from the shotgun quarterback draw, what a play with Young. Dives, fumble, and Oklahoma says, we've got it. They do.
Right into Derek Strait's hands.
Jones, his first carry of the game. Kewan Jones, the sophomore from Jinx, Oklahoma. Now the Sooners trying to go the long way. Jones is swacked at the 9. They need to reach the 14-yard line. White sprinting, cut off, fires, complete. A beautiful completion. Seems to be in complete command of this offense, the way he directs it. Stays in the pocket, fires another perfect strike. 40, 45, 50. Clayton still going, and he is down at the 46-yard line. The opportunistic Sooners take advantage of 3 turnovers. They scored touchdowns after the first 2. Works walking in for the first score. 14-7 Oklahoma at the end of the first. Now he comes up. We start the second quarter. Oklahoma leading by 7 points. That inside handoff to Jones, and the Horns jump it. Well, this is certainly a passing down. It's second down and 9. But they elect to run it, and why not? Texas expected the same thing we did, and Jones looking at Thornton, studying the gap right directly in front of him. First down and 10. White from the gun. Pump fake coming back to the left now. Diving incomplete. And they go. And you can see over on the Longhorn bench the defensive signals being flashed. And Jones to daylight. Griffin wraps him up. At the 24-yard line, they put Clayton in the slot, and they're chasing Clayton with Vasher. So the matchup now is Vasher against Clayton, and White back middle high, got a wide open man, incomplete. If he had caught it in stride. And now a 42-yard field goal attempt by Trey DiCarlo. Rice to snap it. McCoy will put it down for the left-footed kicker. On its way, long enough. He's got it. DiCarlo boosts the Sooners into a 10-point lead. Timeout. The Cotton Bowl. Ball on the tee now for DiCarlo. Here's Selvin Young again. 20, 25. Selvin dives out to the 30. I see a penalty flag. Just wanted to make sure everybody saw it. That was the same flag. Everidge coming up to take on the run. Young rolls it over to the left-hand side. Sheds a tackler. Still going. Here it comes again. Finally out of bounds. Cedric Benson at the tailback spot. Everidge again pressing the line of scrimmage late in Young's count. They'll try to move late on a freshman quarterback. He's going to go long. Roy Williams didn't see it. He threw the ball long to Roy. It could be an arm or a shoulder. They have taken the pads off. Here's the toss to Benson. Stretch it out. Cuts back and picks his way to the 34-yard line. And there's a penalty flag. Now it is Texas. Third down. Lehman's over in a gap. Now they fill it with a safety and then back out. Now Young in trouble, and he eats it at the 18-yard line. A penalty flag comes late. Is a long snapper. Back deep. Perkins going to let this one bounce. Remember, he turned one over, which led to the Texas touchdown in this game, and it rolls dead once, and they've scored 3 of the 4 times they've handled the ball. Jason White flares to Jones. Jones in a foot race, and he makes it to the 37. He can run you down in the passing game, but he has been neutralized here today. And there he was stepping up to plug the run that time. Darrell frequently comes down to practice to see the team and visit with Mac. White goes overboard, got Clayton over the shoulder, and Clayton stays in bounds, looking for one block. Coming to the right side now. Got away from Giger and makes it to the 15-yard line. Jones, the running back, on the draw, and there is number 11. Second down on the 15-yard line. Fake the inside handoff. Fires complete. Rankins, there's a penalty flag, a late flag.
In the right spot on all of these plays. Yep. And
Jones, the slot man, to the right. They run away from it, and here comes the other Jones. Runnels is off to the right. Remember, he slipped in and caught a touchdown pass earlier. Here's White. Again, the offensive line gives him time. Fires. Double covered. Jones incomplete and out of the end zone.
didn't happen.
Clayton, the hot hand. White waits to clear. Comes back underneath Johnson with good coverage, but too tight. And the penalty flag.
Holding on the offense. Pass interference on the defense. Penalties canceled. Repeat second down.
They're going to load with 4 now. On second down and run the quarterback draw. Never expected that. And White to the 6-yard line. 10-yard gain makes it 3rd and goal from the 7. Now White fires incomplete. As there was pressure for a 24-yard attempt. He's 1 of 1. No breeze in his face. And he nails it. 2 for 2 for Trey DiCarlo. And the Sooners lead it 20-7. High kickoff. Young over the 11-yard line. Special teams using the sideline. You're going to see a different team because Young won't let them lose. So let's see what the young man's got as he keeps it, and Oklahoma simply jumps it. Here it's 20-7. Oklahoma with the lead. Young rolls the pocket, deflected, picked off, and and Oklahoma's going to walk in with the interception. Touchdown, Jonathan Jackson, the junior from Houston.
Takes it in. Number 94 beats the block. Too early of a cut on that offensive line by Tillman Holloway, and number 94 swats it right back.
A turnover feast for this Sooner defense. Up 27-7. Unbeaten, ranked number 1. They forced 4 Texas turnovers. Jackson dashes in for the touchdown. 24 points off 4 turnovers. They lead at 27-7. Ricardo kicking short. Going to be fielded at about the 17-yard line. And field position at the 35-yard line. Young straight back. Fires high. Williams went up in the air for the ball. And obviously, Selvin Young is ready to go. He's in the backfield. The quarterback draw, and nothing doing with Vince Young. And are in on recruiting Adrian Peterson. They have a little bit of a link with Magruder. On the handoff now is Cedric Benson.
Jamming him in soft zone. Here's the roll-up to his side.
Young is back, being forced to the right, throws on the move, and the wide open target is Sloan Thomas. He was camped out. Facing the clock, gets it off, and Benson is swallowed. 2nd down and 12 for Vince Young. Straight back. Now he'll take off. He's got daylight. Here he comes. 10, 5 for the end zone. Touchdown, Vince Young. When he takes off, except for his height, he reminds you of Michael Vick. No good. And a big miss. Jones has rushed for 29 and works for 27. They've scored on 4 of their 5 possessions. So this is their 6th possession coming up here. And Bradley, the speedster, fumble! But Oklahoma regains before he took that job in Lawrence. Now the crowd very much into it after the Young run for a touchdown. Works back in as the running back. And he is down. Clayton, the wide receiver, lines up in a slot formation to White's right. Running from that formation, and Works will go nowhere because they are the best of friends. Chance Mock seated alongside, helping him out over there. Now White fires low, complete, 1st down, midfield. Here he comes, Clayton. And penalty flags come flying. Those hands.
Personal foul, grabbing the face mask on the defense. 15 from the end of the run. 1st down.
Where I do business. 1st down and 10 from the 20. Fake the inside handoff, and White buys time, goes in zone, got a receiver. Touchdown! He goes to Will Peoples, who was wide open. 20 yards on the scoring strike for White. It's down here. It's recruiting rights. And now the Sooners have scored on that sideline. One of the defensive coordinators for his brother Bob Stoops. And Thomas is going to come out. 10-yard line, on a sideline, and he's out of bounds at the Vince Young, who certainly has taken over as the Texas quarterback. Deflected again, and this one incomplete. Now we have referred 2nd down and 10 now for Young. Penalty flag on the play. This toss out of bounds.
Offsides on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
In the game.
2nd down and 5. Lehman shows blitz. He's picked up. Young can't get an open man. Steps hard to the right. Now fires. Bumped after the catch. Called out of bounds. Lehman again trying to hand fight in. Can't get there. They swing Robbins. And Robbins is down at the 25. And Texas will be forced to punt. The record setter. 3 for touchdowns against UCLA. Perkins just waves it off as they try to punt away from him, and they go out of bounds with a short punt. Now they've got 50 seconds to work with. Wade.
After the play had ended, personal foul on the kicking team. 15-yard penalty.
Continuing to defend 1 and 2. Now White. First down, drops it off. Wide open as Ronaldo works. Johnson busting out of bounds. Clock stops. So now it is 1st and 10. Terrific performance by the offensive line. And Clayton just couldn't quite get to that. And again, Jones comes over to the right. Pump to the right. And White down at the 18-yard line of the arms. I'm surprised that they didn't spike the ball and stop the clock on 3rd down and then kick the field goal. And now they're late. I think that that is a mistake by the coaching staff right there. But nevertheless, why not? Hey, I surrender. Stoops knows a lot more than I do. Why not? Let the time run out. And Stoops, who's been a master of the special teams since he arrived at Oklahoma, makes it 37-13 on the kick by Trey DiCarlo. With the final seconds running down, Stoops says, yeah, then we send you to jail. The game thoroughly dominated so far by the Sooners, and they'll get possession here again. They'll bring it on out on the 20-yard line. And when you go back, they'll see if they can right the ship here. And a penalty flag.
Snap. Ball start on the offense. Moving in the interior line.
I think that offensive line put this defensive Texas in the twilight zone. There's a handoff now to Jones. Jones stretches the D, turns it, and out of bounds at that. So it's a 4 wide again, using motion, using one of the tight ends as a blocker. And Jones straight ahead short of the 1st down on that play.
I get a vote.
13 of 17. Play fake. Fires, and Wilson reaches for it at the 39-yard line. Marcus doesn't roll in on him.
For Oklahoma with the helmet in hand saying, am I ready to go out there and chasing White's.
1st down, 15 yards for the Sooners. Runnels, the motion man, the slant. Clayton reaches up, and there's another nifty grab for Clayton now. Jones, 1st down. Crosses midfield. 2. 1st down and 10. Inside handoff to Jones, breaks it free. Another 1st down to the 36. Sims, Shishan, Carter, Joseph, and Brown, the offensive line. And here's Works. Out of bounds. On 2nd down and 5, here's Works again. He crosses the 30-yard line. This will be 3rd and short. 3rd down and 2. Here's Jones for the 1st down. Well, going to Baton Rouge today, and they are beating up on another of the unbeatens. So here's Works. He crosses close to the 10-yard line. That's another. He had some things to say about Texas in the build-up to this game, the closest to bulletin board material, as Works crosses the 10-yard line. Time ran down.
5 yard. Remain 2nd down.
Simeon Rice's play would have been legal in the college game. We're going to talk a little bit about that rule here as White slash. And here comes Rankins. Touchdown, Oklahoma. Jawan Rankins in for the touchdown. And then rule discussion will have to wait.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't. What's tougher to stop, the hammer or the finesse?
Here today against Texas. Carlo tacks on the extra point. And it is 44-13. The beautiful thrower. And the catcher who can move. Touchdown OU. Man, it's getting easy. That White's going to appear on all of those lists. And with some, he's going to be the front runner. No question about that. It's fielded now by Sloan Thomas, the wide out. Thomas to the 22-yard line. Well, enjoy life on the midway here. It's 1st down and 10. And we'll see what Texas is coming up with here. Nothing much doing on that running play. Second down and long. Fires in underneath. And got a first down, Roy Williams.
Well, you can see the talent right there.
Benson set up behind the quarterback. Now Young on that option run. Not a good pitch on the hop. Benson saves it. There's a penalty flag.
Yeah, it's good.
Personal foul on the defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Young underneath. Benson stumbling. Got the first down to the 34-yard line. First down and 10. Benson. Ball being bobbled over there. Oklahoma jumping on it. Yes. And that is the 5th turnover. Derek Strait sitting on the sideline and watching now as Jason White continues to put on a clinic here. Inside handoff. Works to the 34-yard line.
What would that be? 8 and 17 would be 25, right?
You worked on that one.
You out of that Ferris wheel there, Chad?
Third down and 5. Thornton and on White, who was juggling as he went down. Oklahoma's punt blocking broke down early, but not this time. They're going to set it up now for Basham. Fair catch at the 34-yard line. And number 10, Vince Young under center. Short drop. And the pass is dropped by Bo Scaife. And that's a look at our Chrysler passing playbook. Second down and 10.
They're supposed to
Quarterback draw. And Young over to the right side. Searches daylight now. 40. Close to that first down marker. Man, is he dangerous. And it's third down. Young looking for a first down. Tries to get an open receiver, and I believe he's got daylight. He takes off, he'll get it. Got it. Out of bounds, first down. You know, we talk, if there's any kind of one of those trap games late for this #1 ranked team, that would be it. Although, second down and long for Vince Young. And he just takes off against the blitz and hooks it out to the 48-yard line. And here is third down for Vince Young. Long handoff to Robin, and Robin is wrestled down by Jackson. And that's short of the first down. A fourth down for Vince Young. They need to reach the 42-yard line to keep the drive alive. Throws high, incomplete, Oklahoma football. He's out in a 3-wide formation. And then they even motion one of the backs as an H-back and use Works to stretch to the left. And he slashes 40. 35 goes for the middle of the end zone. In a foot race. Works goes for the end zone. Got it. Touchdown. Oklahoma. 54 yards for Ronaldo Works. He's now over 100 yards on the day with 2 touchdowns. 1 and 2 will play. And number 1 looks pretty strong here today, folks. They're protecting their position with 51 points. In time to watch their team put another 50 on the board. DeCarlo. A spinner short. Out of bounds. There's a penalty. First down and 10. Young is back. Pocket holds. Middle high again. Incomplete. Williams the intended target. Second down and 10. I love that match. 3 falls for the title. Young to Williams. And it is alertly broken up. Poteet was in there. 3 down linemen for the Sooners. Safety blitz. Benson and Jackson come from the backside to get him. Benson was picking up the blitzer.
defense starves.
Deep hunting. Perkins fair catching. Picked up on a big up. Pick on the penalty flags. I thought that the Longhorn player on the coverage team was in too close at 12.
Kick catch interference on the kicking team.
Yeah, saw that one.
After the play was over, personal fouls on both teams. The kick catch interference will be enforced.
Field judge. Jason White hands off to Jones, and Johnson comes around and second down. Long handoff to Jones, gets squared, and this time he picks up another first down, but White with a first down at the Horns' 41-yard line. Jones, cut back. Johnson there to cut it off from behind. We come to the end of the third, but it was another quarter dominated by the Sooners. White going airborne to Rankins. And then they tack on another one with Works. 51-13 OU. White pitches it quickly to Clayton as we start the fourth quarter. Clayton's free. Goes for the end zone. Touchdown, Oklahoma. Ooh.
That one?
Oh, yeah.
I got a lot of marks. Texas got a lot of marks that hurt today.
Ooh.
Little bubble screen, one of the first plays you put in when you're a shotgun team. Catches it, turns and run. Oh, what a feeble effort right there. Lack of tackling by Texas.
Oklahoma are looking pretty good right now. At the conclusion of this game, we'll select a Chevrolet player of the game from each team. Is on the kickoff. It's fielded by Sloan Thomas. First down and 10. Young rolls to the right. And he's wrestled down. Second and 10. Young flares it to Robin. Slips a tackle to the 34-yard line and a first down. He said, we don't know what the end game will be for this team, but this is the best talent that I've ever had at Oklahoma. And it has really fumbled. And it was almost caught in the air, I believe, by Nicholson.
Bob said, Jack, that's the biggest and best compliment I've ever received.
Second down. Robin for the first down. This team cannot afford to stumble. They're sitting number one, and to ensure that they get there, they just got to keep on winning. That's the key for the Sooners. In the middle, big delivery to Williams, and surrounded and down at the 26-yard line. Pocket rolls to the right. He dumps it underneath, keeping it in Williams' hands, but not much of a gain on that.
After the play was over, personal foul on the offense. 15-yard penalty, bounce, second down.
Oh, okay, back to Vince, right.
Yeah, I think, oh, is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, no,
yes.
So here is Vince. Now what he does so very well. Freelance out at the 30-yard line. We've signed up a new cameraman here at ABC. Come on, Barry. Keep the focus now. Don't lose the framing. Incomplete.
Look at the ball.
Big Tex out there welcoming all the Sooners. Almost intercepted.
Oklahoma came with an all-out blitz. Put Vince Young down on that last throw.
We'll see what Paul Thompson's got here. Stretching the defense into the third down.
In live action.
Third and 9. Blitz gets it off. Gonna get a first down. Hickson in a foot race. Flag, ball out of bounds inside the 10-yard line.
Coming forward and out of bounds, so it goes back to the spot of the fumble. Personal foul, face mask, and flips from that spot, half the distance.
Hickson to his left. Thompson on the keeper is brought down inside the 5-yard line. That's Florida State. LSU. Here's Hickson. He's stopped in the backfield by Johnson. Inside the 10-yard line, the backup quarterback, Thompson. Thompson not going to get it. It'll be fourth down. from the 10. But he won't tack on a field goal here. Paul Thompson now.
This is where they hit the bubble screen before.
Inside handoff, and Hickson is stopped, and it's Texas football with 7:17 to go in the third series of the game by Vince Young, and has not played since. How tough it has been. That was the 10th Texas penalty of this game. Mock has Scaife underneath to the 12-yard line. What Mangino has been able to do with the Jayhawks this year. One of the surprise turnarounds after the season started. Mock with a nice pass underneath. Scaife again for the first down. Well thrown ball there.
They made a missed call, and then from there it was all downhill.
Deflected high. Intended for Scaife again. And 4 wide for Mock. Second down and 10. Picks it up. Incomplete. Goes away.
That Big 12 championship game, Nebraska, Oklahoma, would be quite a tussle.
Third down, Mock takes out.
The ball just swinging
loose.
Just swinging that ball around.
What is that? 6 turnovers now. He wants this clock to move double time. Here comes Hickson. Cut back and surrounded.
In the next league that he can play healthy.
Second and 12. Thompson fires, snared by Peoples. Close to the first down. It was a first down for the Sooners. Ball inside the 15. Hickson muscles his way inside the 10-yard line. You can see why the coaches like him too.
I'd get to put a guy out there in a wheelchair if he could throw it that good.
Inside handoff from the end zone. And Texas swallows the play. Well, it's been a painful 4 years, hasn't it, for Horn fans? Thompson gives to Hickson. He's stopped by the defense. Fourth down, 3:24 left. Thompson with a pitch to Hickson. And Hickson battling toward the end zone, didn't make it. But he might have gotten the first down.
He gets the most out of his game.
Hickson jammed as he tries to...
Amazing recruiting program at Oklahoma now.
Jones in at running back, and he'll score. And a flag on the hit.
And Aaron Harris is going to get a lot of sportsmanlike penalty.
He was already in the end zone, and a lot of frustrations on the Harris hit. Also, his daughter's 18th birthday. So, Malia, happy birthday. And what a better present than Daddy's football team. Winning big.
This just isn't all coaching. I know they put a good program. This is a special group of players Oklahoma has together right here.
Come out on the 20. Draw play. Robin to the 25-yard line, and here for the comeback kick. Robin to daylight for a first down for the Horns at 1:23, and of course our lead PA Sun Devil did an outstanding job along with the doctor of graphics himself. He a nice job. Our studio show, what a hit again, huh? That was Russell Dennison.
And that's just because they don't have enough players. Oklahoma does. They keep number 7 in there just to keep him on the field, and he's going to make a half a tackle with Dennison on this play again.
As he'll come to the center of the field and shake Mack Brown's hand, and for Mack it's going to be a painful walk out to the middle of the field 4 straight years. And Mack with some words for Bobby. Bobby saying, "You dang rascals are just the best team I've seen down here." And ABC Sports Online at ESPN.com. Search ABC Sports.